So far in the previous two videos that I posted on my YouTube channel, I went through designing your writing strategy for publishing with, a journal article, and then how to create a solid argument for your entire paper. In this video, we will progress to abstract writing and the importance of writing a solid abstract for your article. Also, you will learn how you can use abstracts to conceptualize your entire article in general, which is very useful. And again, the material reference for this video is from a book published in 2019 by Wendy Belcher called Writing Your Journal Article in 12 Weeks, A Guide to Academic Publishing Success, in its second edition. So first of all, let's go through why you need to write a good abstract in the first place before we jump into how to do it. Some of these things that I've listed here from the book are known, but it is important to reiterate them. Some of us can get into, the habit of just copy-pasting abstracts after a while from other articles. So that is copy-pasting, the formula, and we can easily lose sight of why we are writing an abstract in the first place, and to take writing abstracts seriously. So first of all, writing abstracts can solve problems for you. By just writing one, you are actively engaging with your work. It helps you clarify what the article you are doing is about. Abstracts are considered a miniature of your article, with word limits between normally 120 to 400 words. It serves as a test of whether you have a focused article or not. Abstracts helps you connect with editors and peer reviewers. Editors, and speaking, from a personal experience, can pick whether they want an article published or not based on abstracts alone. It can help select suitable peer reviewers to review your article, and editors tend to attach the abstract and the title of articles when they ask potential peer reviewers to review and go ahead and review an article. So crafting an attractive, solid abstract is really crucial to attract the attention of very busy editors and also reviewers as well. A boring, weak one does the opposite. So keep that in mind. Another reason for writing a good abstract is to be found online. When others say search for relevant research on a certain topic, they often will go through abstracts. Most articles sit behind paywalls, except abstracts, so keep that in mind. Also, you would want to entice readers to read your article using your abstract. Abstracts tend to show methodologies, what new, knowledge is out there, or to be in touch with interesting new research. So you want to hook readers from the beginning. And finally, you also want your work to be cited, although this shouldn't be the main, driver of publishing your work. Sometimes this may involve citing abstracts that show, advancement in a certain topic, or talk about the latest research, or who did what, and so on. So that's another method of also getting cited based on just, purely the abstract itself. So what makes a good abstract? This is important. Abstracts should, normally, provide a summary of your article and not introduce it. They should tell a story by stating the problem or phenomenon being addressed. They should declare the paper's argument and its significance. They should show findings or results. Abstracts should include a brief description of the methods used in no more than a sentence. Another key point that tend to be overlooked is the words that you use. So use strong words, not vague ones. For example, you can use argues or demonstrates instead, or explore or examine and shows instead of attempts or tries to, because these are considered vague ones or weak ones sometimes. Keywords are another item that tend to be expected under abstracts. So think carefully about these because they will be used by other researchers to sift through articles in journals. And abstracts should also be self-explanatory and don't leave readers puzzled in any way about any of its sentences. Also use past tense because you are reporting what you did in the past, not what you aspire to do. And I, just from a personal experience, as an example, I recently was asked to review a paper for a very prestigious journal. I refused the article mainly and purely based on the abstract, and the article shouldn't have gone through to us, to peer reviewers, because the abstract didn't have most of these things that I'm listing right now. And despite the fact that the topic could be an important one, but the abstract was very weak. It did not have a summary. It did not have any of the things, results, methods, an argument, a very clear argument. It had a question mark, and so on. And as a general rule for most journals, abstracts don't normally include things like footnotes, citations, quotations, abbreviations, symbols, and acronyms. So keep these in mind. So now we move on to some tips on how you can write an effective abstract. Talk to someone as a starter. Talk to someone. Describe to someone your article. Once you finish describing your article to people, ask the person to tell you back what they understood. Take notes during this exercise, summarize once you finish, and write it down. What you can also do then is to read abstracts from your field. Write down what you learned, then draft or revise your own abstract based on that. Then start noticing if there are any weaknesses in the abstract that you've put together. For example, check word limits. Check if it names your article subject, if background information is no more than 1 or 2 sentences, if it includes around 5 keywords, if it includes an argument or a hypothesis, if you are making a claim about your topic's significance, if it makes sense without reading, the article, if it shows interesting findings or results. Also check if your abstract doesn't have future tense, like we will demonstrate. Instead, we demonstrate. Also check that it uses the present tense to talk about the article. For example, the aim of this article is. And also that you use past tense to talk about your study. For example, the aim of this experiment was, and so on. So hopefully this video gave you good tips in terms of how to create an effective abstract if you are thinking about publishing an article with a journal.